Hello, hello. Let me quickly see. Sound should be on. If you're on Zoom already, just let me know that you can hear and see me, so I know that everything is working. I'm just sharing it now onto Facebook, the usual way. Okay. Looks like everything is working. I hope you had a nice weekend. I had a nice and relaxed one. That was really, really nice. We have some exciting news for you, but it takes longer than expected sometimes. Okay, what are we talking today about? How to compile funding proposal. Okay. Let's go live also on Facebook. That looks like this is working too. I just will go to my page. I just confirm that everything is working there. Yes, there's a live video. Yeah. I love it when everything is working. That is so great. Let me see. Let me listen. Always need to. Yep, always need to unplug my mic, otherwise I can't hear if this is really working. But it is working. Okay, great. So let me see. Some people already in Zoom. Absolutely great. Okay, so I know it's still school holidays, but it doesn't matter. I still wanted to go live, share with you some information. And yeah, if you see that as a replay on Facebook or on YouTube, doesn't matter. You will get my contact details. I'm not able then to answer the questions live, but you can contact us and we will then be able to assist you. What are we talking about today is how to compile a funding proposal. There are a couple of steps I definitely highly recommend, are absolutely important. And one of these steps is definitely make sure that whatever you want to do, you qualify for this specific fund. If it is funds from government institutions or specific enterprise development funds, or if you want to apply for some funds from corporates, most important thing is inform yourself, figure out if your venture will qualify for the specific fund, and if it is qualifying, what are the rules and regulations, what documentations do you need to submit, okay? Don't just assume, oh, I don't have the tax clearance certificate, and then I can apply without it. That will disqualify you immediately, yeah? Some of the funds are a little bit more generous, and then they will come back to you and say, this is still missing. Please submit, and we'll add it. Other funds are a little bit more strict. They will say, you haven't submitted this. That's why we don't take you into consideration. And you don't want to experience these things, yeah? So this is number one, is just make sure that your venture definitely qualifies for the specific fund. The second part is we are usually talking about entrepreneurs. That means your business needs to be profitable, okay? And otherwise it's an NPO. That is okay, even if you then want to submit. Sorry, I don't know what happens with my voice here. Even if it is an NPO, and then you also need, please, to make sure that you have all the documentations in place, but I'm concentrating on entrepreneurs, on profitable businesses, and I'm not talking about we just get by and earn minimum wage. I want to set up and help you to set up business. where you can earn proper money with. Yeah. So I think as a entrepreneur, if you need to see all your costs, there need to be a couple of tens of thousands of rent for you in there. Otherwise, it makes no sense. Yeah. So you need to be careful and choose your niche really, really wisely. Other things on the financiers and funders will always have a look at. They want to see that you have the expertise. Yeah. So if somebody goes there and never ever has done some, I don't know, farming, it will be difficult to raise funding because the financier is trusting you with their money, and they of course want to make sure that you succeed. And your chances to succeed are definitely higher when you are an expert in this field. Can you cover some aspects via mentors? Yes. But if you are totally unexperienced, no business experience, no farming experience, you set yourself up for failure. Yeah. So, and if you want to start your own business, I'm proud of you. Do that. Start with something where you have expertise, and even if it means that in the beginning you start a little bit smaller, you get your expertise and your business expertise, and then you can grow from there. What else? Okay, so make sure you have the expertise. Then the third aspect is make sure that you have all the documentations in place they are requiring from you. Yeah, don't just submit then half of the documentations and then submit all the outstanding pieces of paper later. Put yourselves always in the shoes of the financiers and the people they are working there. You want something from them, you want to make it as easy as possible for them. You also want to look like your administration is really, really great. Okay, because they rely on your administration, on your reporting, on your timely repayment of the loan. And if you can't even submit all documents at once, they're also getting a little bit worried that the whole setup will be chaotic. I try to find a nice word, but I think chaotic is okay. So make a good impression. Yeah, you want to build relationships with the financier. You will be together in this for 3 to 5 years. So make sure that your first impression for them is really great. Fill out the forms nicely. If your handwriting is like mine, find somebody else to do that for you. Yeah, so make sure the first impression that the financier has from you is great. Documentation's all in place, everything is up to date, great business plan is in place, forms are filled out correctly and with the handwriting. There's nothing wrong with handwriting, okay, but handwriting that somebody else is able to read, you know. I've seen application forms and I thought, I can't believe that. Somebody wants to apply for 10 million when it was crossed out and hardly to read, and there was no effort, you know. No, for me it's also no respect to the other person. Yeah, and you want to have this relationship with the financier and a long-term relationship because you want to grow. That means you want to ask for some more funding from them at a later stage. Okay, so now we had documentations all in place, nicely filled out forms. The next part is most financiers definitely want to have a business plan. And a bankable business plan needs to cover all the aspects the financiers need to see from you. And if you're not really clear about what that is, put yourselves in the shoes of a financier. Think about you are now having a couple of millions in your bank account, somebody else is coming to you, says, I have an absolutely amazing idea, please help me, please invest in me, I need, I don't know, 500,000, 1 million rand. What do you like to see from this person? Yeah, when do you feel comfortable lending somebody else money with all the contracts, of course, in place, and that you feel comfortable and say, okay, this person has done all the homework, they know exactly who's their target market, they have offtake agreements in place with potential customers, that shows you that there is a market out there, there are customers out there, they want to buy the quantity and also the quality of the product or service they want to offer. So these are important aspects. Yeah. So most financiers here in South Africa have two strict requirements, and that is, number one is you need to have some offtake agreements in place, showing that when your sales estimation is in your business plan, let's say 500,000 rand a month, that you have offtake agreements from a couple of potential clients, proving that they want to buy, let's say, 50,000 units per month for 100 rand a unit. Yeah, and so that they can see, 50,000 rand units for 10 rand each unit, and so that you come to your 500,000 rand per month sales. That is number one. And number two is most financiers here in South Africa definitely expect you to have 10% collateral. That means if you need 1 million rand, they expect you to invest 100,000 rand, they will finance 900,000 rand. So they want you to also have a little bit of taking on some risks. They need to show that you believe in your business, and they also want to see that you're committed. And as soon as it's a little bit more difficult, that you not just say, okay, it's not going to work, I leave it. Because if you have your own cash in the business, you usually will find some solutions, even if it's a little bit challenging. Yeah. Sometimes it's a little bit more creative, and then you need to think about, okay, what else can we do? But and even if you have all these things in place, let me tell you, with plans and business plans and offtake agreements, business is like life. It always something unexpected happen. You've got a couple of bumps in the road, and then you need just to see, okay, so what can I do? Come up with some solutions to get around, to overcome them, to get things done. Okay, so I think what I quickly will do is, I see there are some people also in Zoom. If you have any questions, if you scroll down with your mouse, you see there's a chat button. You can ask me some questions. Let me quickly go to Facebook. Okay. Oh God. Okay. Kotso Jackson is listening. To Zeli is there. Danny is there. Good morning, everybody. Great. If you have some questions also on Facebook, just write a comment, and I definitely will be able to answer them. What I will do is I will just share our list with requirements. Let me quickly learn application requirements, just to give you an overview what is expected from you so that you can see that. Okay, so this is usually the things you definitely need to submit. Sometimes if things are not clear, financiers will ask you for some other documentations. Usually is you need to have a business plan, and all the assumptions in the business plan, you need to have the relevant documentation with it, okay? if you have an assumption in your business plan and say our location will be in 2 Old Main Road, then you need to have an offer to lease for 2 Old Main Road. Yeah. Okay, so I separated this into 3 different parts. The first one is definitely the application itself. You need to have the application form, like I mentioned before, please nicely filled in so that everybody can read it. A bankable business plan, financial forecast. Some financiers are happy with 3 years. Most financiers want to see 5 years financial forecast. And of course, quotations for all the planned investment, what you want to do. Yeah. They want also to have in this part the offtake agreements I mentioned, and some sort of collateral to see that you're really serious about this business and you believe in inside. The next part is all the company details, company registration documents, income tax numbers, tax clearance certificate, some funds request, a BE certificate. If you're already in operation, okay, so if it is an expansion, we need annual financial statements. If it is a startup, you of course don't need that. You need company bank statements. If you are in operation, of course, usually for 6 months, or sometimes also 3 months, but we will let you know for how long, definitely. And then, let me think, if you are a startup, you just need to have a proof of a company bank account, yeah? And if you are in operation, you need to have the proof of address of the business. If you are a startup and you have decided on a specific location, you need to have the offer to lease. And the last part is all the information about the shareholders and or directors, you know, your CV, your private asset and liabilities, your private income and expenses, private bank statements, certified copy of your IDs, proof of your private residence, and if you are married, your marriage certificate and certified copy of the spouse. Yeah. So at the end of the day, there's nothing what is really out of the ordinary. It's all normal normal information. Nothing what you shouldn't be able to obtain. And so if you have some troubles when we are assisting you, then we will definitely be able also to advise and tell you, okay, this is how you can apply for this, or for some of these documentations we are also able to apply on your behalf for you. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I don't know what's happening here with my voice. I thought I'm over my cold here, but it is still giving me. Samuel is also still listening. Great. Okay. So I hope that definitely helped you today. You got a little bit of an understanding what the financiers are really looking at, how detailed you please need to be, okay, so that that you succeed. Because let's be honest, starting your business is only the first step of your journey. Okay, because the most exciting part of this whole thing will be when you're running your own business, when you will be profitable, when you will overcome all the challenges, when you are able to help lots of people, to service lots of people and give them what they really, really want. Yeah? Okay, so I wish you, I know we were not so many people today, still school holidays. Wish you all the best, absolutely successful new week. I'm excited also for next week, Monday, because I will share with you something absolutely exciting. You will love that. Okay, take care. Oh, I need to be on my other. page. There's also no questions. Okay. Enjoy. Take care. You know how to contact us if you need our some of our advice. If you need to have a business plan, if you need to have your business plan assessed, and if you want to apply for funding, we are there for you. Take care. Bye.